Hey guys. All righty. So today for Wednesday review, we are actually taking a break from review and I'm actually going to teach you a new skill, but it also might be a review from third grade. We're going to be talking about area and perimeter today. Okay. Just as a refresher before we start taking those state tests. All right. So area is the measure of square units needed to cover a space. So the inside of a shape. Perimeter is the measurement around the distance outside. So area is inside, perimeter is outside. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and look at how we can find perimeter and area of shapes. We're going to start with perimeter first. Now, when we are finding the perimeter, since we are just looking for the distance outside, I'm going to add up all of the measurements from around the outside of my shape. So I've got 9, 3, 9, and 3. We do have a rectangle, so opposite sides do have equal length. So I'm going to go ahead and add those up. I'm going to do 9 plus 3 plus 3 to figure out how many inches that perimeter is. Okay, so 9 plus 9 or 9 times 2 is 18. Very good. 18, then we've got 3 more, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So the perimeter or the measurement around this rectangle is 24 inches. So when you are taking the perimeter, you just add up. I'm going to put it over here in a note. You add up the lengths of each side. Okay. Now, in number 1, we were given the measurements for all 4 sides. However, sometimes you're only going to be given the measurement for 2 sides or even 1 side if it's a square. So let's go ahead and look at number 2 where that is the case. So here we've got 8 feet on this side and 8 feet on that side. By taking what we know for chapter 10, we know that this is a square, which means all sides are equal and opposite sides are equal as well. So even though they did not give me the measurements for all 4 sides, I know that the opposite side is going to be equal. So I know that if this bottom is 8 feet, this top is going to be 8 feet as well. If the right side is 8 feet, the left side is going to be 8 feet as well. Okay, kind of like right over here. We had 9 inches and 3 inches. Well, we know with rectangles that opposite sides are equal. So even if we were not given those measurements, we can deduct that the opposite sides would have the same measurements. Okay, now this is a square. If we were only given that measurement, because it is a square, we could also figure it out that all 4 sides would have that 8 feet measurement. Okay, so for the perimeter of this square, I can add up 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 to figure out how many feet the perimeter is. Now notice how I included inches over here and feet over here. That is important to include. So make sure you include that with your answers. Okay. So I've got 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. Another thing I could also do, because it's all the same, is I could say 8 times 4. So when I add up 8 4 times or multiply 8 times 4, what do I get? Very good. I do get 32 feet. So the perimeter or the measurement around this shape is 32 feet. Great job, guys. Okay, let's move on to area and take a look at that. Now remember, the area is the amount that it is, the measurement of what it takes to fill the inside. And we find area a little bit differently. For area, we do length times width to find the area. We're actually multiplying instead of adding. So if I look at number 3, I've got 7 feet and 5 feet. Okay, so whichever one, 5 feet is the width, 7 feet is the length. But honestly, if you got those mixed around, we know that we would have gotten the same answer. So don't let length and width freak you out. Don't get in your mind, I don't know which one's length, I don't know which one's width, I'm going to get it wrong. No, you're not. As long as you're multiplying the correct numbers, you'll be fine. So I'm going to take my length of 7 feet and multiply it by my width of 5 feet. Okay. Now, when I multiply 7 times 5, what do I get? Very good. I get 35. Now, the thing with area, we're going to make sure we include our feet. But because it talks about how many square, oh, you can't even see it, how many square units it takes to fill up a space, we're going to have to include something special with our answer for area. So 35 feet, and I'm going to put this little 2 right above it like that. 35 feet squared, or you can also say, we'll do it in this one, what else you could say as well. All right, so when we see that little squared, that just lets us know we are referring to the area of a shape. All righty, so let's look at number 4. We've got this square and we're only given one measurement of 4 yards, but we know that we need at least 2 to multiply. We need the length and the width, but what do we know about squares? Exactly, that all of their sides are the same. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in this 4 yards over here as well to give me my second measurement. Okay, so I'm going to take 4 yards times 4 yards, because that's my length, times my width. What do I get when I multiply 4 times 4? Very good. 16 is correct. So over here we put feet and then the little 2. You can also just say SQ, which is short for square, and then whichever measurement they use. So in this case, they used yards. So you can either say square, whatever the measurement is, or you can say feet squared or yards squared. It'll be just the same, whichever one you're more comfortable with. All righty, that is it for area and perimeter. Just a little bit of a refresher from 3rd grade, hopefully. You do have an assignment for this, so make sure that you go and do it. If you have any questions or you need to review this at all, go ahead and you can either send me a message or you can come back and watch this video again. All right, guys, have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I will see you back here tomorrow for some more of Chapter 12.